Saint Charles de Foucauld. Priest and hermit. 1858 to 1916. Beatified November 2005 at St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican City, Italy. Canonized May 15, 2022 St. Peter's Square, Vatican City, Italy by Pope Francis. Feast Day, December 1. Charles was a French soldier, explorer, geographer, ethnographer, studies of ethnic groups, Catholic priest and hermit who lived among the Tuareg people in the Sahara in Algeria. He was assassinated in 1916. His inspiration and writings led to the founding of the Little Brothers of Jesus among other religious congregations. As you can see, Strasbourg, France is a short distance from Germany. A hermit is a person who has withdrawn from society and lives in a solitary existence. They typically meditate in a life of prayer and fasting. Charles was orphaned by the time he was 6 years old and was raised by his grandfather. As we all know, the teenage years are a time of trial. How far can I go without something bad happening? It is also a time of questioning everything. Charles questioned and eventually rejected his Catholic faith. Seeking youthful adventure, he joined the French army after he inherited a great deal of money from his grandfather. He was stationed in Algeria and he also took his mistress, Mimi, with him. His superiors demanded that he end his relationship with Mimi or he would be discharged. Later on he left Mimi and re-enlisted in Algeria. He wanted to go on a military scientific exploration. The military refused him, so he again left the military. He enlisted the help of a rabbi, disguised himself as a Jew and began his own exploration of the Jewish culture and religion in 1883. He wrote a book about this exploration which was well received. In 1886 he returned to France and his Catholic religion. In 1897 he became a gardener and a sacristan for the Poor Clare nuns in Nazareth and later on in Jerusalem. He then returned to France and was ordained in 1901. He then lived with the Tuareg people in Algeria. Once he learned their language, he wrote Tuareg to French and French to Tuareg dictionaries. He also translated Gospels into their native language. He then moved to the capital city of Tamanrasset where he would spend the rest of his life. In 1909 he went to France to establish an association of lay people who agreed to live according to biblical teachings. In 1915 he wrote to Louis Massignon, "The love of God, the love for one's neighbor. All religion is found there." How to get to that point? Not in a day, since it is perfection itself. It is the goal we must always aim for, which we must unceasingly try to reach, and that we will only attain in heaven. The outbreak of World War I led to attacks on the French in Algeria. Seized in a raid by another tribe, Charles and 2 French soldiers coming to visit him were shot to death on December 1, 1916. Later 5 religious congregations, associations, and spiritual institutes were formed based upon Charles's understanding of the pathway to heaven. This is the beauty of Catholicism. Even though you start out badly, a heartfelt confession re-established you on the path to eternal salvation. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13, "No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your strength, but with the temptation will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it." I bet you never thought of yourself as a missionary, but you are. A child looks to their parents for guidance throughout childhood, and into adolescence, and then they discover that you have flaws. These flaws cause them to question you and ask questions maybe beyond your understanding. They reach out to others to answer their questions, maybe friendly adults and certainly their own peer group. Your co-workers, friends, and neighbors also observe you and decide for themselves if you are an honorable, trustworthy person who can be trusted to do the right thing when no one is watching you. You see, your life is a missionary experience. Your actions speak louder than words. If you and your friends are honorable, moral people, then they will pick up those traits from you first, your friends next, and their peer group last. If you have poured the Christian foundation of truth and light, your missionary work will live on for years to come, just like Charles's missionary work has done.